when we allow all the activity to slow down into the common grounds of our one being. Here's where we can truly meet in the presence of our being, also as the aware space. It's a good opportunity, even throughout your day, to value moments of a complete stop, the complete stopping of doing. When the doing stops, the being is more amplified, seen, acknowledged, and valued even. Because most of the time we actually value more of how many things we do in our day. We give ourselves all the acknowledgements according to all the doings. So valuing the stopping allows us to shift into the space of being. Because only from the space of being we can really recognize what really needs to be embraced by us, by the aware space itself. Because otherwise, we're just simply running around in circles, trying to figure it out on how we can truly be in peace with ourselves, how we can truly find true happiness and contentment in our lives, which includes all of us as a part of life itself. So if you are identifying yourself as sadness, and the story, the narrative that follows with that sadness, with that emotion, there is a very limited support and healing or even transcendence that can happen. So the struggle within the sadness itself is very limited when you're in it. Thus, anything that you experience in your present moment needs to be seen from the space of awareness for it to be fully acknowledged, fully held in all embrace. You need to zoom out into the wider space to be able to hold that which needs your aware attention. And by shifting into your being or into your aware space of being, you open up the doorways, you give way and make space for whatever feeling, whatever idea you have about yourself or others, whatever challenge you are going through, whether soft or more intense. It is always the same practice, is to allow, isn't it? Is to come to peace with that which is in your aware space. So if you are the aware space itself, and then you have all these layers of subtleties, of emotions, different textures, and they connect you with different memories, different images, different degrees of uncomfortabilities. The more we, in a way, resist the totality of that, the more we kind of keep them in our field and in our space. They occupy the space. Yeah, it is, they occupy our aware space, thus the aware space dims down and everything becomes squeezed. Resistances, agitations, some nervousness, anxieties, and so it becomes again into that vicious circle and cycle. So if you understand the mechanics, and this is why I'm speaking of this, understanding the mechanics of how it all functions, then we can understand that by once again reminding ourselves to shift into that aware space, like a zooming out, making way, giving way, we are able, we have a much higher capacity to manage ourselves. Yeah, manage ourselves. So to have a higher capacity to manage yourself is to then comes this embracing of it all. Yeah, the embrace of all of you can really authentically occur if you are within your aware space of being. Otherwise, you're finding yourself still struggling to accept a part of you. And this is where majority of the time we find ourselves struggling to accept the next moment, and struggling to accept the next life experiencing we are experiencing. Yeah, and sometimes it takes some days, sometimes even months or even years to come to a true, authentic place of true peace and liberation. So, I'm not here, to share with you, some things that sound good to our ears, and it would be only fooling ourselves if, we don't fully and totally meet the depth of the feelings, the emotions, the challenging energies, like truly. And the way you can know for yourself is by recognizing the degree of effort that you might be experiencing in your day-to-day life, the degree of resistance you might have to the totality of life, or else the certain unacceptance you have as a relationship with yourself, loved ones, or life experience itself. So this is your homework, your reflections to make, to recognize the degree of resistance or unacceptance, that you have. Do take your time to reflect just for a moment or two to see the degree of resistance or unacceptance you have in your life within you, or when something new is happening or changing, how are you dealing? What is your capacity of managing your life experience? And that very quickly, I show you right back at you the degree of unacceptance, unworthiness in some ways or another. And it's also a pointer and indicator to show you that part that requires your full embrace.